mountain we go.
Yeah, he did get shot there, so he's going to have to land, kind of slow things down just a little bit. Someone got boogied over to his left-hand side. Is he going to snatch up that opportunity to kind of jump on? Guess not. That player got right back in the baller, and down the hill he went.
Gotta go. No time to waste any of it. Player dropping in above. Epic Whale trying to follow through on that. Elam can't quite find it, and a big combat shotgun shot from that range. Very effective as Epic Whale's forced down to 76. Gonna have to play on the defense. Use that rift. Probably the last super safe time to use it, assuming nobody looks up. One of those players that may look up for too long. Jarvis, somebody we've had our eyes on a number of times for NA West already.
I was literally watching him back in the talent room. Jarvis.
That's real. I can confirm that he actually was.
Yeah, like just sitting there staring at his games because he's been having quite the run. A couple unfortunate hiccups, but all in all, just pretty decent run here. He's really made his way to the top of the radar, and I've been so interested to kind of follow his gameplay at this point. Up in the right-hand corner, guys, Victory Royale worth 10 points, but don't forget placements are all the way through. And talk about that, top 25 just grants Jarvis and everyone else in this lobby a couple more points just for being alive right now. And each elimination is worth 1. That's Nico who goes down to Jarvis.
Quick reaction, player pushing up. No builds for Jarvis right now, just 1, now 0, and shots come out from the corner, edit up above. Jarvis gonna have to try and apply pressure. There's no other opportunity. Just kidding. Sculler goes down, looking for a back-to-back. Denying the feed just in case those Elams come in way too quick. Ruddy goes down as well. PGG Jarvis moving forward. Excellent set of plays. No materials still, though, after building himself into a box. Finds, an attempt on a player. The shadow bomb there, he got locked in on it. Somebody else from above does follow through with shots. Seal Matt, his duo right here.
Yeah, a little bit of a standoff there. I see Kate and G all in those players' names, so bunch of friends basically at this point, all in the same lobby. But here they're enemies. Aiden jumps up, goes with the side hop, takes the high ground using the storm, but the cost, 60 HP to take this high ground, and the opponent didn't even expect it.
Not a big deal.
It was worth it.
Not a big deal, honestly. He may have spent the 60 HP. Use it as a commodity to make his way to the top. A very good push with the baller. Take high ground, shot from above. Combat shotgun, so powerful. And we're going to see it again for just a second. Weapon swap it at the TAC AR. Looking for shots, watching for exposure on an opponent underneath. Drop it down. A little
scout to the high ground. Everything seems to be clear, and he knows players are working their way down. He's taking his time here. You don't ever want to get too close to your opponent. He's trying to find an opportunity. Will he find it here as it's declining slowly but surely once again? He's keeping this high ground. He used a baller to get here. You can tell that he still has fairly comfortable materials for endgame. Deuces goes down there as Aiden is continuing to rain down top 3 situation. Trashy versus Little Chase. Trashy catches that one, and Aiden is now at 100 shield here in a 1v1 versus Trashy. Is he gonna be able to close out? We'll find out now.
Second here, Aiden moving forward, double layering up above. Trashy stuck on the low ground, no builds, shots from underneath, down to 69 HP. The shadow bomb in an attempt to maybe make a climb here using the tree potentially, but Aiden is doing an excellent job of zoning Trashy out. No attempt, no climb. He's taking an opportunity, pop a couple minis. It may not be enough though. Aiden stuck right next. No way! And Trashy with the 9,000 IQ play to literally just sit in the bottom. Exactly.
He faked him.
He popped the shadow bomb, but didn't even push. He sat, and Aiden spent all this time trying to track what couldn't even be tracked because Trashy was still in the bottom. Aiden literally lost an easily winnable game just because of an outplay mentally.
I promise you this, he'll never do that again.
Oh,
because
100%.
There's a distinct sound when someone jumps with the shadow bomb. And Aiden just, out of pure defense and safety, precaution, put up the planks to protect himself, but he traded out storm damage. I bet you Aiden never makes that error again right there. And this is the rinse and repeat that competitive players have to go through. You have to go through these and then learn from your mistakes most importantly.
It's like you ever see like the label warnings on a product and you look at it and you're like, why is that on there? But you realize that it's got to be on there because it happened one time, right?
It can happen.
One time. Yes. And the same thing applies here. You don't think about it until you're in the situation where you're like, wait, this is a thing that I need to be concerned with, because it caught you off guard and maybe cost you, in that case, potentially 4 points if Aiden had gotten the elimination and the push from the Victory Royale. Yeah, like you said, it's not going to happen again because I think Aiden's got the warning label on now, right?
That's right, and this is what the World Cup is all about, and that's why this is the best practice for qualified players, regardless. He's still a champ. We'll see him in New York City, but Snorrier catches that whiz very...
Bro,
call me way off. I'm like,
you got duped so bad. Oh, shout out to Harriens for having a name that not even literally one of the most knowledgeable players I've ever seen. Monster D-Face can see it. If you have other names that are like that, anybody that's got a backwards one.
Whoever's working on you building your brand is fire them because you're not winning with that.
Tag Monster D-Face on Twitter, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We got to get a list of names for Monster to look out for so we didn't stumble on any more, right?
That was a tough one, dude.
Player taking shots all the way across, 32 remaining. We got 7 more to go before we're into placement points.
Here it is, Spook. Wait, did I read? No, it's Coops. It's Coops. No, this is right.
I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea at this point.
We don't know anymore, but here it is, Spook. Hopefully, looking to pop someone here. Finds the window. It's a nice weak build right there. And, oh, man, building with Willet is terrible. Way above the threshold here. He's closing in on his top 25. Can he hold out? It's really what he's looking for. 38 points. He's in contention. There's still time to queue up here. He is totally in the running right now. And that's a big 3-piece right there. 2 huge legendary AR shots connect. One being a headshot, rips apart the shield. Combat follow-up, so clean. Spook goes back into recycle the geyser and just gonna keep him in the air, just trying to get this placement right now.
2 quick ticks out in the storm. But does have the highest drop right now, slowly floating in. Bucky starting to take shots. Wouldn't surprise me if descent happens very quickly from those that are still floating because of that. Power on the bottom you saw for just a second. See that player on the outside. Alex Toast does get eliminated. Mockin, 26 left. 1 more goes down. Whoever this 26th position is going to feel bad about missing placement points. But it is the way of the road, as they say. Ultra Laser Hawk is the player, and we are now in the top 25 for placement. Everybody picking up 3 points. The community launchpad may be going to pay the price. Doesn't quite go down. Now Mocking down to 66, catching a competing player, going for the same launch pad, and everybody's flying in here at Lazy Lagoon. We're basically headed straight. In fact, it's an entirely in the water 8th circle that we're moving towards right now.
And like placement was only just barely given out. As we're in 20 players on a riverbed, you can't walk down there.
Nope.
You have to build. This is such a weird end game.
I mean, you could try, but it's going to be real sad when you have to jump along the bottom. Look at this, Foxy Boxy taking shots and then immediately getting shot at from Ty Tanks above. Goes down and Ty pushes in to try and get the loot. Player competing for that. Barband going down outside. Spook rotating forward, maintaining basically the 3rd floor up. A rip, gonna use it, maybe not. Decides not to, gonna move forward. A player dropping in the same box. Surprise, I'm in the box too, and Dotback goes down. Spook maintaining all the way on the outside of the zone. A couple storm ticks. That Siphon actually did end up saving him up to down to 49 HP now. 12 players left. Ty, Spook. A number of other players rotating in, stuck on the bottom underneath the waterfall.
He got up and over, though. He did get up and over. That's going to be a weird place to rotate up, and he knows that's why he's looking right now, trying to see if he can find someone. Players are going to go down to the storm right now. That's 1. Iota goes down already. It's such a weird spot. Their struggle must be happening here. Synergy and Diggles fighting in the zone as well.
Quick edit and a quick elim there, picking up another Siphon. The 50 HP shield total there, very important.
Just a bit ago, he had 49 health, guys. Now he's at 150. He is in the game right here.
Swing.
Will he get to 200 in time? Nope, someone snatches it up, but it's okay. He catches Aaron's.
The rift?
Right there, and there is a free rift. Definitely want to use that. Everyone already to the sky at this point. Top 5, all placement points have been given out, besides the Victory Royale at this point.
Mocking on the ultimate low ground, taking shots. Traps to defend from anybody dropping in, like Just Chillin', who does go down very quickly. Another elimination, 7 now in 5 builds. Maybe looking for another shot on the players underneath. There are a handful down there. A quick grenade. I don't know if you caught that. just tosses one down to see if he can get a hit on somebody. Maybe the 60 seconds before the storm.
Can he get it?
Dicks
Can
him
he
out.
get it?
Caught on the outside. He's got one build. Floor, he's going to push up, find it. Gets it.
Did he get it?
Vertsack
Did he get the mats?
dropping in.
He got
Maybe.
a few.
He did.
Yeah,
He did. He's
just
good
a few.
still. 3 players. Almaken in the ultimate low. And watch this. Everybody's about to get pushed in the air because the path of the storm. And that might...
He needs to hit the shot.
Oh my God. Just barely away from the vent. Almaken gets 4 eliminations. The victory royale and everybody else. At that point, because it was so close to the end of the game, nobody wanted to go for the vent because you're pushed up in the air, and with the circle that small, you are asking to tick out storm damage. You want to stay engaged, so a forced rotation out into the storm is the only option at that point.
Yeah, and that's why Spook was trying so desperately hard to push through that building and catch the Elam before he took off in the geyser, but he did manage to throw him up and couldn't get the siphon to keep him in the game. But here we're Cryptic, charges back that bow, and he West, 30 minutes left to queue up and get the last bit of your games. 30 minutes, you can effectively queue maybe 2 full games, one from here to then, and then your last, but it's only if you have more than 2 games left, then you got to start pushing through. Yep. We call those W key games. So as you see, the lobby right now is a normal lobby in a sense. As we approach towards the end tail, these lobbies are going to get probably like slimmed down.
And more, it's scarier and scarier every single time you go in there. Right now, you have to realize that these games are queued against players of relatively similar scoring. As we get closer to the end of the block, you're going to be looking at lobbies with players with very high point counts. Very, very competitive lobbies, very difficult lobbies. You're on West 2 spots, by the way. The top 2 of 3,000 people. The top 2 of 3,000 people is... It's terrifying to think that that's how narrow it is. That's how few people make it through. We've gone through multiple weeks of this, of players trying to play out of their minds. Cryptic slays, picks up the first Elim. Couple easy shots, the AR from above.
That's that boombo though, man. Ripped apart all the shield on that player.
Just recently nerfed too. A little bit of a
drawback decrease.
A quarter of a second longer now, but players still very efficient with it. You just have to time it a little bit better.
Any kind of change to that weapon is welcome, I'm sure.
You trying to tell me that people have a problem with the relative utilization of a weapon? Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience? No way.
Of course not, dude.
Never. Smile.
Insane.
You're insane.
Here we have
You're insane.
Blixifer. 2 stinkers. We saw stinkers kind of clean up some players earlier today. Just an end game with no way to defend against it. Persian goes down. Now Blix, he can take this ball. He can just go through the loot if he really wants to. He's not going to do so. So he's going to be content with what he has and gets to the next zone here.
Too risky at this point. He's got to rotate so far still, and you've got so many players that are still out here ahead of the zone. JP2 right there, King Flash at the top, challenging Cryptic Slays. Hunt as well, landing the same spot, and Spicy right underneath. Meanwhile, Saf from Ghost, looking to make a play down here in the bottom, decides to not get too aggressive and uses that rift, seeing most likely that right now, at the time of the rift, 27 players left. I think the option there was, I don't even want to risk it. I want my placement points, which he gets now.
Yeah, not only that, someone he had like 2 players somehow end up in his box. One might have been a shadow, the other might have been a baller, so.
Exactly.
He is not trying to stick around there.
The best course of action, honestly. Down to 22 now, and he's got to make it to 15. You see the top right there, the placement required to get the next set of points.
He's doing pretty good for himself this game right here. He's got double heals going on, playing for the high ground, manages to take it up, and it's his.
Do it.
He's just got to run it up. He's connecting with all the combat. Someone is trying to break him down. Doesn't even matter. He does manage to connect here, and there's 2 or 3 players now above him. He's going to use that moment of distraction to lower his elevation and probably just go back on the hunt in just a bit here, but stinkers are chasing.
One more needs to go down.
Look at that dodge right there. Sidestep fake out. Now taking down the high ground player again, but lets his guard down, and someone's already on it.
Actually did pick up an elimination fake. He jumped off the top. Ended up going down to that. In the feed right there. 11 players left. Saf, 2 eliminations, 56 builds, and it's pretty much all metal, which is perfect for late game. If you had to have a situation where you get 1 material at the end, it's got to be metal every single time. You use that to zone people out as the storm's pushing in behind. Slows them down because they have to try and knock out those walls, and it's going to take multiple hits. And at the same time, maybe a chance for you to edit back, go for elimination. Hector here, the ultimate low ground, moving forward, 35 points so far. Still in contention, Cryptic Slays in your feed, putting it down to the top 10 remaining. As Fett goes down.
Yes, indeed. There's a player right here. He does have the edit, makes the double shot, connects with a 136 combat. Just one hit was the one that took him down, but didn't break the wall in time. Is he going to be?
Oh,
no
what
way.
a bait.
King Flash was waiting for that. But hey, he brought in a slurp juice for King Flash. That's going to be a big come up for him. And
special delivery.
let's look at how much health these players in the low ground have. No Flash, just gets one limb right there. It's going to put him back in. He did get hit.
Saf in the ultimate high ground, just big chilling with already built structures. In fact, he owns a number of them. You can see from this corner, Ed is going to watch for the shots. Finds two. That player's down to less than 50. He's going to push forward, and it's Cryptic Slays goes down. We are now in a top 4 situation. Cryptic at least getting the top 5 points there. 7 from that. 49, though, total for Saf. Looking to put himself in the top 10. Hopefully the top 2 if he can make his way all the way to the top. And speaking of the top, climbing out of the... Basically 3 players left. Schlump, the ultimate low ground. My friend out there in the corn. I feel that for sure. Saf in the ultimate high, dropping down, starting to descend. A little bit of fall damage. Both players at the bottom are literally dancing inside and outside of each other's builds right now. Corner edits happening. A ramp to push Spicy all the way in the bottom, and Saf and Spicy to 1v1.
It's the corn. It's the hayfield. Like,
he's got layers above him already for just a second.
Like,
Spicy's got 7
Saf's
builds.
Like, no way, dude. I ain't going down there.
I want to see a Spicy push out just 2 or 3 floors out, launch pad to try and take high ground and push the shotgun. Do it.
Saf's not having it. One campfire's down. There's the second, sits in the middle. Out comes the bandages, and that's his game.
Spicy was sitting on the launch pad. I would have loved to see him push out, put down a quick floor launch, fly up, and try and take high ground, shoot down from above, especially with a tactical shotgun. You don't have the range of the combat, so if you're going to try and compete with that, you're going to fail. AR shots from underneath, potentially, but with the amount of materials that you could already see the player above him layering up, double layering pyramids and floors. So at that point, pressuring with a high ground takeover, in my opinion, granted, I feel like that was the play. Thoughts?
I mean, think about it. There's only a couple of spots for qualification. If I'm being honest, to make it all the way through, you got to take risk. We've seen it happen all day today. 1-point differences, tiebreaker differences.
Yep.
You got to make risk right there. Like, that was an elimination he could have took, but he just said, you know what? He weighed his card and said, I have the bandage, I have the campfire. I'm going to go for the hail off. You lose a point. You leave a point on the field.
Was it NA East had, what, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 9th and 10th were all 60 points?
4 players in a 60-point tiebreaker bracket, and Creo just barely eked out.
So you're looking at that and you're thinking, I should probably push this, maybe.
Don't leave anything up for grabs. Can't in those final moments, but
39 players left.
How it all kind of crumbles in that one, but here it is, symmetrical. We saw having quite the day today if he can continue to just hold out.
We had a chance to look at his first 5 games of the day, the breakdown, and